Bittersweet Chocolate. Laura Esquivel was born in Mexico City in 1950 and is a Mexican novelist, playwright, and screenwriter. Originally majoring in early childhood education, she later delved into playwriting and screenwriting. Her most renowned work, Like Water for Chocolate Como Agua para Chocolate, was published in 1989 and became a global bestseller. This novel is recognized as a prime example of magic realism, intertwining traditional Mexican cuisine with themes of love, fate, and the eruption of repressed emotions in a powerful narrative. The book was later adapted into a successful film, further cementing Esquivel's influence in literature. Through this novel, she established a unique storytelling style that blends food and emotions, leaving a lasting impact on literary history. Like Water for Chocolate is a story that weaves love and fate with culinary art, set against the backdrop of the early 20th century Mexican Revolution. The protagonist, Tita de la Garza, is the youngest of three sisters. Her mother, Elena, upholds a family tradition that forbids the youngest daughter from marrying, as she must remain at home to care for her parents. However, Tita falls deeply in love with a young man named Pedro from a neighboring ranch. Pedro reciprocates Tita's love, but her mother refuses to allow their union. Instead, Elena proposes that Pedro marry Tita's older sister, Rosaura. In a desperate attempt to stay close to Tita, Pedro agrees to this arrangement, causing immense heartbreak and suffering for Tita. Tita begins expressing her emotions through cooking. The food she prepares absorbs her emotions, directly influencing those who consume it. When she is sad, her dishes bring sorrow to others. When she is happy, her meals evoke joy and pleasure. Despite Pedro's marriage to Rosaura, he and Tita cannot suppress their love for each other, leading to continuous conflict and tension within the family. Tita attempts to soothe herself through cooking, but her mother's oppressive control makes her situation even more unbearable. Eventually, after a particularly intense altercation with her mother, Tita leaves home. She finds solace with Drive, John Brown, a compassionate and understanding man, who introduces her to new possibilities in life. While John provides her with a chance at a different kind of love, Tita's heart remains tethered to Pedro. Even when presented with the opportunity to marry John, she cannot let go of her love for Pedro. After the death of her mother, Tita returns home, and her relationship with Pedro intensifies, though societal and ethical barriers still stand in their way. Rosaura, desperate to keep her marriage intact, attempts to maintain control, but she ultimately cannot prevent Tita and Pedro's deep connection. In the novel's climax, Rosaura passes away, allowing Tita and Pedro to finally embrace their love without restraint. However, during their moment of ultimate passion, Pedro succumbs to a sudden heart attack. Overcome with grief, Tita prepares a final, intense chocolate-based dish. This dish is not just food, it encapsulates the essence of her love, passion, and every emotion she has ever experienced. She combines rich dark chocolate with chili, creating a sauce that ignites overwhelming sensations in those who taste it. As she consumes the dish, she experiences a surge of memories and emotions, ultimately surrendering herself to the flames of candlelight. Following Pedro into eternity, their love becomes immortal, forever embedded in the legacy of their story. This novel is much more than a simple love story. Tita's cooking serves as a direct conduit for her emotions, embodying one of the central features of magic realism. Food is not merely a means of sustenance, but a medium for emotion and an essential element of life itself. Additionally, the book presents a critical view of female oppression in traditional family structures. Tita's journey is one of self-discovery and resilience. Instead of passively accepting her fate, she fights to define her own path in life and love. Cooking becomes a crucial tool in her self-expression and identity. Pedro and Tita's love story transcends mere romance. It represents a clash between societal repression and personal desire. Ultimately, Tita grows beyond societal norms and fully embraces her emotions, breaking free from imposed limitations. Like Water for Chocolate is a novel rich in symbolism and sensory elements, uniquely portraying the interplay between food, love, emotion, and tradition. It has been widely cherished across the world, translated into multiple languages, and adapted into a popular film. At its core, the novel conveys that love is not just an emotion, but an intrinsic part of human existence, deeply intertwined with our desires and passions. Despite suppression, true love inevitably finds a way to bloom, leaving an everlasting impression on readers.